Amrato Menu Savam Yeshomalo Sankirtyamano Munibhir Mahatmabhir Bhakti Pravrittatmarajas Tamopaha. Now, can somebody read the word for word?
May I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, please, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Itam, thus, Sarat, Atam, Pravrikshakau, rainy season. Pravrishikau, rainy season. Ritu, 2 seasons. Harihi, of the Lord. Vishranabataha, continuously hearing. Me, myself. Anusavam, constantly. Yashaha Amalam, unadulterated glories. Samkirtyamanam, chanted by Munibihi, the great sages. Mahatmabihi, great souls. Bhaktihi, devotional service. Pravritha, begin to flow. Atma, living being. Rajaha, mode of passion. Tamaha, mode of ignorance. Apaha, vanishing. Translation. Thus, during 2 seasons, the rainy season and the autumn, I had the opportunity to hear these great souled sages constantly chant the unadulterated glories of Lord Hari. As my devotional service began, the coverings of the modes of passion and ignorance vanished. Married purport, Prabhuji?
Thank you. Yeah, someone
thank you.
Want to read the purport?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Transcendental purport. The transcendental loving service for the Supreme Lord is the natural inclination of every living being. The instinct is dormant in everyone, but due to the association of material nature, the modes of passion and ignorance cover this from time immemorial. If by the grace of Lord and the great soul devotees of the Lord, a living being becomes fortunate enough to associate with the unadulterated devotees of the Lord and gets the chance to hear the unadulterated glories of Lord, certainly the flow of devotional service takes place like the flow of a river. As the river flows on till she reaches the sea. Similarly, pure devotional service flows by the association of pure devotees till it reaches the ultimate goal, namely transcendental love of God. Such a flow of devotional service can't stop. On the contrary, it increases more and more without limitation. The flow of devotional service is so potent that any onlooker also becomes liberated from the influence of the modes of passion and ignorance. These two qualities of nature are thus removed, and the living being is liberated, being situated in his original position.
So nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was such a wonderful purport. So let's get back to the words and focus on the word-to-word meaning. You see, there are some key points that Narada Muni is bringing out here. So let's do a discussion to begin with. So who can share what are the key words in this verse?
Prabhuji, get constantly hearing the glories.
I think, Prabhu, you may have to go up to see the verse. Rajesh Prabhu.
This is okay, Prabhu?
The window is turned. I think you went to now it's okay. No, but the verse. The verse is not seen. Verse and the word for word to begin with. Sanskrit is not required. Just the English one and the synonyms.
From where
second line, Prabhuji. The second line it is mentioned like Prabhuji continuously hearing that unadulterated glories.
Vishrinvataha.
Anusvam Yasho Amalam. So from whom he's hearing like great sages and great souls, right? So that is.
Yeah, so right through this thing, one thing that is very clear in Narada Muni's this episode is that hearing can do magic, like how it did magic in Narada Muni's life. So he repeats the same point again and again. Hearing, 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 right? Continuous hearing, attentive hearing, constant hearing. All these words are like repeatedly used, which means it shows a very interesting. Yesterday also I was discussing with the Chanchalpati Prabhu that normally we have some attachment to say some different material subjects, no, or some topics. It can be to do with say some sports, something to do with some say movies or dramas or whatever, or something to do with politics and other things. Where in India, people tend to have these primary things all of somewhere some alignment will be there, where they will have some talks going on always. So if you see, the more we keep hearing about that subject, the more the attachment for that subject starts developing, isn't it? Then that dhyayato vishayan punsaha sanghasteshu upajayate. We start associating with people who are similarly attached. Then the topic of discussion is pretty much the same all through. Whenever we go, somebody talks about say some fishing thing, or somebody do with wild animals, whatever the subject matters that they are talking about, they find some group for themselves and then they discuss about it. So that more they keep hearing, talking about that same thing, again hearing. So all minute details they get to keep it intact, right? So clearly it is there in their memory that they start identifying with it as they go along. Suppose the team that they support wins, they become elated. But the same thing that the team that they support lose, then they feel as if they have lost it. So this similarly, they are attached to some political parties. So there are many people who can give their life for their leader and all that. So constantly they hearing about these people from time and again, so much that they are very much attached. They are looking forward to, like you see many times, there are people who feel so angry and frustrated if they don't get the morning newspaper, right? Nowadays, morning newspaper is replaced with internet. So you go to some place and you don't get Wi-Fi or data thing, then people become frustrated like anything. Through that only they are able to relate to or hear all the messages from everywhere, isn't it? So hearing doesn't mean only hearing through the ears, hearing through some written forms also, that is also hearing only. You are in receiving basically the information. Yeah. Right. So that is the real issue. What is the topic that we are hearing? And it goes to such an extent that we identify with it so deeply that we feel really morose when your supporting thing fails, or that's why yesterday also, I don't know how many of you could hear online the discussion the class we had here in Dwarka, Delhi Dwarka. That verse is very amazing, Arte Havidyamanepi Sapne Yata Anartamago Apago, sorry, Agamoyata. I forgot the verse exactly how it is this thing. Maybe you can take this 11:28:13, Prabhu. This particular verse 11:28:13. It's that verse really throws a lot of light to this difficult situation. Yeah, Samsrutirna Nivartati. Jayato Vishanasya Swapne Anata Gamata. See, this verse is a perfect answer to that challenging situation where we are all getting attached to materially, to the material subjects. Because those who are ignorantly attached, they will be elated, they will be morose, back and forth, they will not care. They are happy doing that. They, and they have not tasted the higher taste, so they will continue thinking that that's the only thing. But when we get introduced into devotional service, but still have material attachments like these things in our life because of whatever, even if you don't need, there will be some message that will keep being forwarded to you from here and there. Some nowadays memes are being forwarded, videos are forwarded. So many ways they're forwarding so many different things. Most are fake, some are genuine. But people, even by reading fake news, people tend to get upset and disturbed, isn't it? At least genuine news is there, you get upset, there is some reason behind it. Fake news you hear and you upset, there's nothing like it. So the only way here is to understand this point. Artehi avidyamanepi. It is not existing. That whatever we are thinking that, hey, this is happening in this material world, actually it is a dream. It's not existing. Samsritir na nivartate. As long as you have this avidyamanepi, this ignorance is there, our samsritir na nivartate, our material existence will never cease. That's the point here, because that is actually a dream, illusion. Just suppose you say, hey, my party won, my team won, like that. What team? Where is it existing? Are they going to, you have any relationship with them? Do they have a relationship with you? And even if it is so, are they going to exist forever? So you ask these questions, then this dhyayato vishayan asya. Dhyayato vishayan, continue dhyayato vishayan pumsaha, the same thing. Dhyayato vishayan asya. Swapne anartha agamaha yatha. When in the dream, you see in the dream, actually, we go through some experience. And during that experience, it really appears real at that time while sleeping. Our subtle body is experiencing it, and it is crying or screaming or laughing or whatever it does. It is actually experiencing it. In the sense, it thinks that it is actually experiencing it. Beauty of it. But actually, once you wake up, the dream doesn't exist at all. So once you wake up, the dream, whether it is good or bad, it doesn't matter to you, correct? It may be a nightmare or it may be a very sweet dream. But once you wake up, does the dream make any sense to you? And that's what our Shastras say, Uttishta Jagrata. Be awake to the reality. Don't be in the dream life only. So everything in this world which is temporary is actually a dream. So when you have this mentality, this conviction in our life, then it doesn't matter whether your party wins or your famous actor's movie is is a hit or a flop or whatever. So there people are like that. So many people are attracted to that. But we who are into Bhagavatam, here who are into this consciousness, we should at least appreciate this fact and see everything as from a detached perspective, from a third person's perspective. This is Bhagavatam message actually. So that illusory thing has to be removed. That's what Narada Muni said in the previous verse. If you see that I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted the gross and subtle coverings for both the Lord and I are transcendental. So I have accepted the gross and subtle coverings. The gross covering is body. Now suppose I am born in India, I say I am Indian. So I identify with anything that is Indian. Anybody who is enemy of India is my enemy. And that way we create all these friends and enemies based on with whom you are identifying, right? Then within India also, you have more things further. Suppose you have, hey, this personality, this famous sportsman is my hero. Then anybody who talks one word bad about him, he becomes your enemy, right? So it creates such a it's an imaginary thing, right? That person is not your actual enemy, but in imagination we are thinking that that person is the enemy. Sorry, it's shared. I'm on mute. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yes, yes,
So the
Prabhu.
relations and
Audible.
connections which we are developing in this world, based on our material, based on our material connections, that is all illusory. So I have a gross covering, and with that gross covering, I am identifying things. Hey, I am a man. I have to be identifying myself with these things. So within man also, I am from this so and so state. Within this state also, I am from this city. So I identify with everybody the similar this thing. So all these things are happening because of my identifying with the gross and subtle covering. Gross covering is the body. Subtle covering is the mind. Mind which is thinking that I am Indian. Mind which is thinking that I am a South Indian or North Indian or all those things. Right? So they have to be given up. For that, the best process is that's what he is telling that in Narada Muni's verse, your devotional service should begin to flow. And for that to start, constant hearing is the continuous hearing is the starting point. Shruta Sampradaya. Okay, so that's nice, Prabhu, for sharing that point. So, is there anyone else who has found out some important? Now you have to switch over to 1528, Prabhu. Rajesh Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, Shiva Prabhu, you had a question.
Prabhuji, one of the key point I observed here is Narada Muni is identifying the duality nature. So one is rainy season or dry season, whatever it is. It can be day or night. So irrespective of that, if we keep continuing with our hearing, that's what he says will liberate. So
Rainy
he's trying
season
to
and this thing is not
duality.
indicating duality, Prabhu. It's just that
Okay.
those 4 months now, the sages will not move out much.
Okay.
Because it's rainy season, they will not move out much. So during that Chaturmasya period, they stay in one place. That's what he's indicating there. It's
Let me read the last two lines of what Prabhupada says. He
yeah.
says, these two qualities of nature are thus removed and the living being is liberated. So these two qualities means, is it not duality?
That is passion and ignorance, not the seasons.
Modes of passion and ignorance. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, understood.
He's telling those two modes are always disturbing us with this identification and misconceptions. So he's telling that those two qualities be removed. That these two qualities of nature are thus removed, and the living entity living being is liberated, being situated in its original position. So this sapna, the dream, makes us keeps us away from the original position.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So Prabhu, kind of it is repeated twice. Vishrunavata means continuously hearing, and Anusavam, I mean constantly. So this is kind of the point is kind of stressed here to be consistent.
Yes, Prabhuji. So what do we conclude from that?
So what I was saying is, Prabhuji, that this point of continuously hearing, I mean, consistent in hearing is what is being stressed here in these two words.
Yeah. So they are also constantly singing the unlimited glories of the Lord. He is also continuously hearing their glories, hearing their glorification. So that is mutually, beneficial. Or I would say for Narada Muni, it's more beneficial because the more they can keep on speaking because they are out of the bodily consumption. For Narada Muni, for him to get that mercy, he has to hear from them continuously. Subhashini Mata, yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, I can see this pravrittaha, that is flow. Just as the rivers, they go and reach ultimately they just try to reach their destination, that is the sea. Similarly, the pure devotional service flows into the association of pure devotees and then reach ultimate the goal, that is love of Godhead.
Yeah, those lines are beautifully explained by Prabhupada there, no?
And this is also explained in Kunti Preva's Bhava Pravaha, she says in her.
Yeah, Gange Vaugamutanvati.
Okay.
Like the Ganges, let my thoughts forever flow towards you. So nice. Actually, that is the key. So that is the most key word of this verse. Pravritta. Yeah. Bhakti pravritta atma rajas tamopaha. So why it is key? This bhakti is considered here like the flow of river. Certainly, the flow of devotional service takes place like the flow of a river. So why is this comparison to the flow of a river? The bhakti's comparison to flow of river is very significant and very important. What is the significance there?
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's continuously flowing.
It reaches the ultimate
Prabhuji,
destination, that is the.
So when
Prabhuji,
it can reach the ultimate destination?
When it doesn't stop,
When
when we
it's
are
continuously flowing.
hearing,
when it
continuously
So
reaches
flowing,
when it can continuously flow?
when it
when we
when
have
it
association of devotees.
No, we
Together
are
with the
talking
devotees.
about river now. First, let's talk about the river. Then we'll talk about a comparison there.
Prabhuji, only when there is momentum or potential, it can flow, Prabhuji. That potential
so
is
momentum or potential, how will it come?
From a higher place to a lower place, Prabhuji, going down the flow. It's like that.
Right, but is that enough?
Don't accumulate anything in the heart.
Sorry?
Don't accumulate, like to flow. Don't don't have
No, we are
reservation.
still with the we are still with the river only.
Rainy
What
is
is the requirement for the river to flow non-stop continuously till it reaches the destination?
Prabhuji, in the river, when the river flows, there are many other small tributaries which contribute to the force of the river. So that can help the river to accumulate its strength and continue to flow.
Rivers split into tributaries, no? Some places they join, but is that enough?
Rain needed, Prabhuji. We need rain.
Rain comes only once in a while. It doesn't come all the time. The river has to flow all the time.
Yeah.
So it will flow as long as it is finding a way, Prabhuji.
No, finding a way is the next step. It comes. Suppose assume that the way is very clean. Still can the river flow continuously?
Prabhuji, there should be constant source to feed the river. For example,
Exactly,
say
that's
Ganges.
exactly that's the
Ganges,
point. That's the point. That's where I
the
was
ice
getting
should
to.
keep melting and it should constantly source that river.
If the source stops, how much ever your path is clean, high to low, and everything is pakka done, still the river will not flow. Yes or no? So that source is continuously. That is what is continuous hearing here mean. The continuous flow of river depends on the continuous, so the water coming from the source. It may be it may be like in a small quantity, it may be in huge quantity, it doesn't matter, but somewhere somehow it should continuously come. Then depending on the flow page, the place where it is flowing, it will find its own way. You see? So if the moment the source stops, the flow stops. The moment the flow stops, it gets stagnant. And that's when it starts creating disturbance. It is getting disturbed also, it creates disturbance for others also. Get it? Because the water is stinky, nobody would like to drink it. Secondly, it itself, the water itself being stinky will not like it. It's not a good state for the water to be in. When the water keeps flowing, the water likes, the nature of the water is to flow. Nature of the devotional service also is to flow. Nature of the Sharira is also to keep flowing with the time. Time keeps flowing, isn't it? Time doesn't stop a moment. That's why time is always the winner. Whoever keeps flowing, nobody can win time, isn't it? Can anybody win the time? No. Why? Because time doesn't stop for anybody. So it keeps flowing constantly. It's not that time sometimes runs fast, sometimes runs slow. It's constantly just going in the same pace. And doesn't have any traffic jam, it doesn't anything, just keeps on going. That's why nobody is able to win time till today. So we also even keep on moving in our devotional service. Also keep flowing. Flow. There is a difference between moving and flowing. The flow means you're also helpful to others. Anybody can come and take anything. Suppose a truck is moving. We don't say truck is flowing in the road. You are saying truck is moving in the road. Nobody can stop the truck and just like that, nobody can go and pick up things in the truck. It's all protected and everything. Right? But the flow means it's really open to everybody. Does the river have any like a wall or something protecting it? That you should not come here and throw things, you should not come here and take this, etc., etc. It's very open, very free. Anybody can enter anytime and just take the water or wash their feet or hand. It just doesn't ask any questions. So these are the qualities that we should take from river. That we should never stop anytime and say, this is no, I am doing my devotion. No, you cannot do like this. You cannot disturb me like this. That mood is never appreciated by Krishna. When you keep flowing, suppose you are flowing means suppose you are moving from one place to another. You forget about the previous place. You go to the next place. So when you keep your mind keeps fresh by that way, when you go on yatras. How was the yatra, by the way, Chitra Mataji and Gaurav Prabhu? I don't know who else went for the yatra in this group.
It
Not
was
sure.
it was like reliving again in association of so many 12,000 plus devotees, Prabhuji. Hello?
Mataji, we could hear you. Gaurav Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, it was great, Prabhu. And I mean, the lectures and the different places that we visited. So also it was a great experience, and the lectures in the evening were also amazing by Maharaj. And we also went to Mayapur also after the yatra. So that was also good experience. I mean, we were in 12-15 devotees that we went together to Mayapur, Prabhuji. So
That's so nice.
yeah, and
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I
as
would like to share one antaryami here.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji.
Recently, we went to Vrindavan and Jaipur Yatra with Hyderabad devotees. But what you are mentioning in the Vrindavan Bhagavatam class, it is 200% right. We are not, we means especially myself, I'm talking about. I am really worried about these many devotees are there, whether I get prasadam or not. I get a comfortable seat to sleep, sit, etc. I'm more worried about than devotional service. So I was very embarrassed very much embarrassed when you are talking about that. So next time definitely I will keep this in mind, Prabhu.
So that point about the idli dosa you're talking about.
Not only idli dosa, yeah, everything, Prabhu. From starting onwards, we are just packing the things and we are not really focusing on the God and what we are going to see, where we have to see, what we have to see, all that. Instead of that small things we are focusing on.
Just one sec, Prabhu. I just need some water.
Yeah.
many a times, Prabhuji, for me it is like prasadam consciousness and rather than Krishna consciousness.
Now, when we see these many devotees are coming, we are really.
The one really funny thing that happened to me, I wanted to share this, but since later, but since you brought it up, Prabhu, I told that in the class, no, that South Indians when they go to North, they are worried about idli dosa.
Yes.
North Indians when they go down south, they talk about they expect roti, chapati, something like that. So I mean, those who were in the class were smiling for that. But what happened? Some devotees happened to hear that online also here in Vrindavan seems. So the next day when I went around, some devotee said, Prabhuji, yesterday class was nice. I said like that. So I am going to 1 second. Why my phone is ringing now? Oh, just give me 1 second. No number. Sorry, Prabhu Mataji. That was one call that had come. So what happened, devotees are saying, and I was going towards Radha Sham's Gaurnita for darshan. So one Mataji came from behind and she said, Prabhu, are you from Tamil Nadu? Yes, Mataji. Oh, yesterday class was so nice, Prabhuji, and like that she was telling. I said, okay, Mataji, Prabhupada's mercy. Then she said, actually, I am distributing idli, dosa, everything here for very cheap price here for the devotees every day. So I would like to feed you idli, dosa whenever it is possible. You please come home. No, I was really surprised, but then it was a sobering thing also for me because as I said, my consciousness is only at Annamaya level. So Krishna decided that, okay, this one will go back happy from Vrindavan if I give him idli dosa. If I give him instead of the idli dosa, if I give him Krishna Brahma, he will not go back happy. So the next day I left that day from Vrindavan to Delhi, and the next day 7 o'clock sharp Mataji calls and she says, Prabhu, I was waiting for you. Are you coming? Yeah, I'm eager to serve you idli dosa. I said, Mataji, I already left Delhi. So whenever you come to Vrindavan, you please, we will be honored to serve you idli dosa. So Krishna has ensured that my Annamaya level is taken care. Actually, I'm not so much eager for these things. I'm happy. I happy to eat anything anywhere because I keep constantly traveling. If you put conditions like, idli, dosa, dokla, paratha, this, that, and all, then where is the time for us to do austerity, isn't it? So sometimes you have to do some austerity for the flow of devotional service to not stop. Otherwise, every time you can't get idli, flow stops. Every time you can't get a roti, flow stops. It gets stuck every time. So where is the continuous flow? Continuous flow means irrespective of whatever the material condition is. Devotional service should not be stopped by any material conditions. So Shiva Prabhu is raising his hand. I hope he is not asking me to share the contact of that Mataji. That's not your question, right, Prabhu? Or is it your question?
Prabhuji, you just mentioned irrespective of the condition, we should continue the flow. The river is also the same. It comes through so much of hurdles and conditions, but it still keeps flowing. So that's what I wanted to mention.
No, it's true, very true,
Goes
Prabhu.
through
See,
lot of
sometimes what happens if you see, suppose you are flying in a flight, suppose you go from Delhi to Calcutta. It's a straight flight, right? It just goes up straight and just enters, almost straight. But if you take a river, it has to take so many twists and turns. It has to go round about and then cover some other place, and then based on the plane through which it is traveling, right? Little bit slopey means it has to avoid that and go like that. But doesn't complain anything. It doesn't complain anything at all. It just keeps flowing. So that's what we should learn from the river. Sometimes it may be that we may have to take some roundabout routes to avoid certain things. We have to.
Yes, Prabhuji. Even river is also a personified service only, Prabhuji, correct?
Yeah, that's the best thing about service. River flow means river does not gain anything by its flowing. Only thing it gains is it's supposed to reach its destination. But in that process, the only thing it does is serve. Why it is able to serve others? Because it continuously flows. The moment the river stops, it will stop serving. Correct? Will you like to take a bath in a river which is stopped or stagnant in some place? You will see that algae, other things are all grown there. You will not even feel like entering into that, isn't it? Some trees, some other grass and other things will be. You will feel that it is risky. A flowing river, you don't feel risky, and it is also clean because every moment it is supplying us fresh. So that's why river is always. Maharaj used to give this example of river for following in our devotional service also. River, anything that comes along, it will take it along with it. It will not reject it. The only time that which is coming along will be rejected if it opposes the flow. It doesn't like to cooperate with the flow of the river. Then it will be pushed to the sideline. Suppose a log of wood is coming. As long as it is in the center of the current, it can keep flowing. The moment it is goes to the side, it will get sidelined. It will be stuck in the bank. Correct. So it's always important to keep our focus with the flow. And who is telling this? Shiva Prabhu is telling this, huh? Chennai flood recently. We have opposed it long back, Prabhu. We built all catchment areas are all converted into big, huge buildings, and we have made all arrangements for the river to or the water to be create a damage for us instead of helping us. Ideally speaking, this flood should have helped Chennai for an entire year. Every time it comes, but all the water that is coming, it's a waste. It just goes into say the river or some other place and drainage and others. Is exactly where everywhere it's the same thing. Wherever it's in Mumbai or whichever place it happens, we have destroyed all the places by our what do you call too much intelligence, so-called intelligence. This is very important to note, and that is why in this particular verse, Sankirtyamana Munibir Mahatmabir, they were continuously doing Sankirtan, glorification of the Lord. And he was continuously hearing. And that hearing is like the flow of the river. And see, in this, Prabhupada writes beautifully in the purport that if by the grace of the Lord and the great souled devotees of the Lord, a living being becomes fortunate enough to associate with the unadulterated devotees of the Lord and gets a chance to hear the unadulterated glories of the Lord, certainly the flow of devotional service take place like the flow of a river. See how many times Prabhupada is using this word unadulterated. I think 2-3 times at least he is using this word.
Prabhuji, why do Srila Prabhupada mentions always this like unadulterated? Instead, he can mention pure also.
Pure, unadulterated means pure.
Yeah, so Srila Prabhupada particularly uses this word.
Yes, Prabhu. Unadulteration. Adulteration means we know how it is mixed. All these things are mixed. Unadulterated means no mix of anything other than the pure thing. So when you say pure and when you say unadulterated, the impact it creates in our mind is different. When I say pure, pure is vague according to everybody's level. Like I may say this is purity. Someone will say no, this is purity. So everyone will have their own understanding of purity. But unadulterated is a very clear word. That unadulterated means no mix. Whatever you get is in the purest form. That's all. It's not like 80% iron, 20% aluminum, not like that. So what happens is the purity of the metal determines the longevity of its its life duration, right? The moment adulteration is added, then its longevity goes down. Its strength goes down. Tensile strength, all that, holding everything goes down, right? In construction materials also, when they start doing adulteration, then the quality goes down, longevity goes down. So Prabhupada is very clear that it should be completely unadulterated by any other material, say external things that comes in the way. It's a very beautiful word actually. This unalloyed, not only unadulterated. Prabhupada uses the word unalloyed also. This alloy also means metal, which is mixed, isn't it? Copper mixed with say gold mixed with copper, copper mixed with something else. So the higher metal lowers its quality by associating with certain percentage of the lower quality metal. Normally the quality lowers down because of its association or combination. So there's unalloyed, it's a beautiful word to unalloyed devotional service, you would say. So no mix of thing that Krishna, I am doing pure devotional service only, but I also want this, I also want that. I have this desire in my life, my life, it wants this desire. No, those desires should just go off from our that's where that Artehya Vidyamanopi Samsatirna Nivartate, that verse is very, very important. Swapne anartha gamoyata. Swapne anartha. Because in the swapna, anarthas all come. But we have to be for anartha means unwanted things. Artha means valuable things. Valueless things are called anartha. Valuable things are called artha. So we are rejecting the valuable things and we are getting attached to the invaluable things. Sorry, valueless things. That's our problem.
Basically, it doesn't leave any scope.
No scope. He is very clear. Any other points to discuss here from anyone or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji,
I
Anasaki
have a
Mataji.
question.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to know, should we artificially, maybe you have discussed in your previous classes, but I was not there. I just
That's
wanted
okay.
to know, do we really have to artificially try to get out of this first kosha and get into the another kosha, or I mean, how to practice it? It's okay. We have heard that we should not focus so much on Annamaya kosha or other koshas, but how to get out of it? I mean,
This unadulterated this flow of our devotional service will clear up all the koshas. When we keep doing the devotional service, it doesn't matter which kosha, which maya you are in. Eventually, you will get out of those coverings eventually. As
no,
long
Prabhuji,
as we
what
are.
happened is we justify even our koshas in terms of Krishna consciousness. At least we are taking prasadam.
Yeah, Annamaya kosha is prasada.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
for example, we just celebrated Maharaj Vyas Puja with few devotees in Chandigarh. So there, because Maharaj likes Italian. So though it was for Maharaj for the sake, but we also equally enjoyed the Maha. So my question is, I mean, we are not able to, even if we try, we are not able to get out of it. We don't take it as a prasad. We do take it, but at the same time, we relish it also in terms of items, rather than thinking it is just a prasadam, whether it is khichdi or whether it is pasta. No, I am not still able to differentiate it. Maybe I'm not on that level, but after so many years also, if we are not on that level, how to practice it in a
Yeah, we have devotees say, we are kitchena consciousness at the moment. Kitchen consciousness. So Hare Kitchena, Hare Kitchena. So the idea of Prabhupada focusing on prasadam was to distribute to others, not ourselves only to enjoy. Even in temples, many times I have seen that they make all these 1,008 offerings or whatever offerings on Janmashtami day and Gaur Purnima day and all that. Of course, it's so much austerity they do that they are fasting and they are doing all these things. But once the Abhishek is over, devotees will rush to catch their boga for their thing. Oh, this is mine, this is mine. That also they'll be saying, no, you are taking. I gave sweet. I want something more, like that. So there is all these bodily level things are still there. Ideally speaking, those should be given to the general mass who did not have a chance to taste the Mahaprasadam. So many people come, like thousands of people. So when you just take some of these prasadam and distribute to others, some temples do that. Some temples are not able to. So these are all some of the things which we can correct over the time period, Mataji. And for ourselves, that impetus to should come. Yes, we will have a devotee community, we'll have a congregation. So there will be a lot of these items to prepare and stuff like that. But we should have a restriction sometimes as to what we should take, Like you may cook a lot of things. Like I remember for Maharaj Vyas Puja, Maharashtra Maharaj Vyas Puja, whenever we would celebrate in Rajkot, when Maharaj was there, I'm telling. So many items devotees will prepare. And Maharaj will tell them, you just offer all of them to Krishna, don't do anything to me. Then they will all offer it to Krishna. And Maharaj will say, you will not take any of them, just maybe for formality to make them happy, just one piece or thing, he will just take. But rest of it all, he will just tell devotees, you just distribute it to everybody, anybody and everybody. And he will come back to his room after the Vyas Puja is over. He has his own set of mud pots there. In that mud pot, he will cook his own khichdi and he will eat that. That's all he will do. And he will never be thinking that, hey, I want this. And he had no like the restrictions on food diet till his last day. He always had full prasadam till 90 plus. So, but then he has his own restriction. We have to bring our own restrictions. That's why I shared this example. It may be that you will be offered so many things from other place, but we should think that it's good to take Krishna Prasadam as long as you see it as Krishna Prasadam. What does that mean? Karela sabji should be as equally relishable as a Rasagulla. If I am given both, then I take it both this thing, that's fine. If somebody is giving Rasgulla to my next to the devotee sitting next to me and Karela sabji to me, I should see Karela sabji as Rasgulla only. If I'm able to do that, then I am out of Annamaya Kosha, or I am seeing Krishna Prasadam as Krishna Prasadam. You see? So these are all, when we introspect through these things, there are a lot of layers of imperfection still there existing. That is why we are not able to get out of this thing so easily, get out of the material coverings so easily. We have to, when we go to yatras, we have to make some austerity. We have to reduce our one meal. We have to increase more of our physical activities, some seva, something we should do so that the devotees will feel happy, Devotees will feel happy and Krishna will feel happy. And that way, automatically, Krishna will not worry that hey, you have crossed all the koshas, now you come to me. Krishna will take you from Annamaya Kosha also. If that is what you are in, but our unflinching devotional service should be the standard with which we attract Krishna. Hope that helps, Mataji. So we have to put the restrictions ourselves, just to, if you have to give you a short answer. Now, others will not give that restriction to you. They will, in fact, they are like that, that Maya which attracts. You have seen that thing that the drama that devotees did in that Me and Mine, that mime thing that they did. You remember? That's a famous thing that devotees did. Like the mind and the Kali will attract, the mind will tell the person to keep doing things. Quite nice thing. So like that, we have this attractions are there from everywhere. So devotees also share all these things, and they, in fact, it's a threat also. Like Satyabhama, they will feel upset if you don't take they don't take their the cooking preparations they did. So that's why Maharaj always used to say one famous statement you'll often repeat: Prasadam may be delicious, prasadam may be free, but stomach is yours. So take care of your stomach. Right? So who will run for the doctor when the stomach upset is there and all the trouble, right? So it's very important to consider these things. It's for our good only. Like if we keep a better health, then we can do devotional service, more flow, with the flow continue. Imagine if I eat indiscriminately, the number of times I have to run to the toilet. If I have to run to the toilet 10 times, then my flow of my devotion stops 10 times minimum. Obviously, I'm not doing devotion service inside the toilet. I'm not Gaur Kishore Das by any means, any standard. So ultimately it boils down to our own controlling our own mind, really. Hope that helps, Mataji. You're talking about Maharaj Vyas Puja Bhoga. It just reminded me of about 15 years ago. I was in Sydney, and I was there for around Janmashtami time. So you know that immediately after Janmashtami, that Ekadashi is Maharaj Gopal Krishna Maharaj Vyas Puja, no? So that was Ekadashi. So I thought there will be simple prasadam only. I went to the temple and was amazed to see there more than half the space of the temple hall was filled with Ekadashi Bhoga offering to Maharaj, to Krishna and Maharaj. It was not just simple items. You can see Ekadashi lasagna, Ekadashi pizza, Ekadashi pasta, Ekadashi idli, Ekadashi dosa, Ekadashi chapati. Everything that is not Ekadashi, they are all made out of Ekadashi thing. And they stuffed three boxes of prasadam for me. And I took it for 3 days, 3-4 days. I was taking this Ekadashi prasadam only continuously. Even at Dwadasi day I was taking Ekadashi prasadam. So devotees they want to show their love for their spiritual master like that. But yes, that is okay. But we have to be careful with our stomach and our devotional service is dependent on that. Yukta ahara viharasya, we know that, right? Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Yukta swapna avabodhasya, everything. Sleeping, dreaming, everything should be regulated. So regulated means flow. Irregulated means stop. Flow, stop, flow, stop. Interrupted thing is irregulated. Nice question though, Mataji. Anything else from anyone before we conclude for the day?
Prabhuji, nothing
Yes,
related to this, our today's
Hmm.
shloka, but when you just discussed about Chennai's floods, I remember the topics which we discussed: exploitation of undeveloped resource, the entire session which we had taken. So when you just said that we have created this in Chennai, the floods are because of us. So I just remembered that. So I thought,
Yes, very true, Mataji. Very true. How we exploit all the natural resources without any thinking about what will happen to the future generations, you know. So rainwater is so essential for every place, really. You can't, how long you can live on groundwater, and the groundwater is not naturally pure, right? We have really destroyed our environment, our surroundings. You know how it's going to help really future.
Is
Do
everybody
something
safe,
about it.
Prabhuji, at your home? Prabhuji,
Sorry,
is everyone safe right now, Prabhuji, at Adampakam in your residence? I mean,
yeah, there's not so much of this thing. Little bit was there, but it's okay. It's fine.
Prabhuji, you mentioned
We are safe inside the house, but we are not safe inside this body. Always some trouble or other will come in. Wherever you go, you are carrying that body with us, right? So as long as you are inside this body, there is no place for safety. Even if you go to the highest place of Brahma's look also, it is not safe.
True, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I
Yes,
joined. Prabhuji, I
Yes,
joined a few minutes late. I don't know. I mean, whether that question was discussed or not. So just wanted
that
to-
was not disturbed. Good. Gaurav Prabhu, suddenly, I don't know where maybe in the yatra this bulb glow on you, or I don't know what it is. Prabhu, you see, I wanted to share based on the sequence itself. If you see, Prabhu, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj perfects and comes back home, our Uttanapad leaves the kingdom. as a takes Vanaprastha and leaves, right? So in fact, he leaves the family and everybody also. I think he is going alone, considering what happened, because after that only Suruchi goes to the forest when Uttama is killed and all those things. That happens much later, right? So natural progression we have to understand is that when somebody has taken that perfection of life, then you don't have to worry about their future life, what it is, how it is, right? So he knew that only mother is staying back in palace. So naturally he would look for the mother. In other words, for all possibilities, I am thinking that Uttanapada might have left his body even while Dhruva Maharaj was there. So if somebody has already left the body, what is the point? Already he has reached the destination. And moreover, he is a very highly advanced personality. Uttanapad, we should not undermine him just because he had 2 wives and he was acting in a little distinct way and like that. He's a very, very advanced personality, because Priyavrata, Uttanapada, Devahuti, they're all Manu's direct children, right? So they are really advanced and exalted personalities. So there's no need to worry about them in that sense. So it is not something where you see that it is not something where uh, he has to think of Uttanapada. So maybe he might have fallen somewhere. Have to do prayers for him. Those things, nothing of that sort. So Uttanapada was a purified person in that sense. So Dhruva Maharaj need not have to worry about him. He was worried about Suniti because she was still out there with him. So he was worried that if I go, she will have no one else to look out for. So that is the reason probably he was thinking about Suruchi. If you take Prahlad Maharaj's case, in that case also, you see, Kayadu is a very pure devotee. She has already heard everything from Narada Muni, halfway or whatever. So there is no need for Prahlad Maharaj to worry about her. She will be perfectly all right as a devotee. And only he had to worry about Hiranyakashipu because he created all nonsense. Disturbance, so much disturbance to Krishna, and more importantly to Krishna's devotees. And that's why he is praying to Nrsimhadev that you please forgive him, that way. So the logic is clear, pretty clear here, right? So you
Yes.
only Prahlad Maharaj was praying for Hiranyakashipu because he wanted to take the responsibility of apologizing on behalf of his father. If his father was alive, then Nrsimhadev could have beaten him almost today, like how he made Kaliya apologize. Right? Kaliya was almost on the verge of leaving his body, and he has no option but to apologize. Right? So, and that too only after the Nagapatnis came and offered their very beautiful prayers to Krishna. Correct? So he could have done it to Hiranyakashipu, but that was not the aim, because only if he dies, he can take the next birth as per the curse. If he apologizes for his thing and becomes a good man, then how will he take the next birth as a demon? So the curse has to be that he has to take birth as a demon again. So when he came, the idea was that Krishna wanted to teach a lesson through these great personalities. That is why for Hiranyakashipu's sake, Prahlad Maharaj is seeking forgiveness to Nrsimhadev, and on behalf of, for for all the devotees, basically. Right? Krishna, I want to apologize for all the devotees, all the disturbance my father created to the devotees. So that is pretty much the thing. And Krishna has already decided that because of Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu will be delivered. So Kayadu's case doesn't even come into the picture. She is anyway pure devotee, so there is no need. And very simple and innocent means Krishna will take care of directly. So.
Okay.
Beautiful question, though.
Actually, I was going through the purport, then this question striked. Prabhupada mentioned that in the purport, and he mentioned both the examples of Dhruv Maharaj as well as Prahlad Maharaj. So then I thought, why not both?
Yeah, those two purports are very sweet purports, really. And Dhruv Maharaj plays such an exalted role. And frankly speaking, he was in fact thankful to Tanapada also. Because once your anger and envy subsides, then you will see good in everybody. You will not have any grudge or frustration, still holding on to the grudge, with anybody. So works in a positive ways. Especially the moment we become devotees, there's no more envy, no more all these things are not there.
One more thing, Prabhuji, I observed is like when Swayambhuva Manu tries to tell Dhruv Maharaj that you just stop killing the yakshas. So the entire chapter, I mean, we see that Dhruv Maharaj is silent. I mean, he doesn't even say a word. He just simply say yes.
Accepts. Yes, I am wrong. He doesn't say, no, you did you. Why are you not seeing what they did? You should have a word with Kuber yourself. Tell him that your sons have to behave all right. Otherwise, it doesn't work this way. So he doesn't say any of those things. When superiors speak, we just obey. That's all.
Yes.
No question. Yesterday, I was hearing to one nice, interesting conversation of Mahavishnu Maharaj. He's telling about his grandfather. His grandfather once called him to come to meet him. Same room only. They're just waiting outside and somewhere playing outside. Called him to come inside. So Maharaj came, and as soon as he came to the door, Maharaj's grandfather said, "See, Kali Yuga is so bad." Then Maharaj was maybe 8 years old or something. He said, "Dada, why are you always complaining? Kali Yuga is bad. Kali Yuga is bad. To me, Kali Yuga is all right." No, Kali Yuga is bad because you don't even have the cap on your head when coming to meet me. They have that cap, no? In Maharashtra, they have that. They are supposed they always wear that Nehru cap. That always that's a mark of respect to others. So then he was wondering what this man is all about. Just not wearing the cap means Kali Yuga has come. So he was so remembering that, so that he was saying that, and then that his grandfather used to have a very old trunk box, that iron box, that, right? That iron, what do you call that? Suitcase kind of a thing.
Trunk, the iron box.
Trunk, yes, trunk box they call it. So that he used to do that pawnbroker thing, they call it, right? That loan thing. So they get some item from somebody and then give some money to them. So he will get some, this grandfather is talking about, he will get some gold or something from others and put it inside and then give some 10 annas, 20 annas, like that those days, that much only. And then in a piece of paper, he will very meticulously write 1 rupee given the state and all that, and put it inside that suitcase. And then he will close it and lock 3 locks. He will put in the thing. But the thing is, from the back side, that key will be there, no? That holds the two pieces together. That will be broken. That hinge, that hinge will be broken. So anybody can open from the back side and take the gold and run away. But he will be saying, the grandfather will be telling to Maharaj that, he will ask, Dada, why are you putting 3 locks? No, we have to be very safe, But Dada, don't you see that the back side is open? Man, you are Kali Yuga product. You don't talk about these things to me. This is my grandfather's trunk box that he has given me, and I am carrying it. Whatever it is, I will keep that on. Everything should be in that only. So he was saying, you are asking me questions. This is Kali Yuga, his grandfather will say. So what it means, Maharaj is telling is that obedience is all it wants. They just want obedience. They just we just have to obey the elders. Doesn't matter. They will be really crude, whatever their devotion they do. And And he was telling, I was asking this question in 7 years. Now I am 88, 90, 89 years, and still logic doesn't prove to me that the items in that trunk box is safe with the 3 locks. The backside open. But I don't know. I have to, somehow or other, I have to accept it. He'll become so upset with me if I ask questions about it. In other words, many times, it will be so clear to us in logic, but they will have a different perspective. They will have their own things, right? Others. So we have to respect their age, respect their whatever their mood is, and then at least not challenge, every time we do that. So that obedience is the greatest remembrance of Krishna, I would say. Ideally, we should obey. That goes without saying. Don't argue, just obey, all these things. He would share this experience with us and tell us that that's the way we can succeed in devotional life. Vriddha Ashrayam Samrunate Anusampadaha. Vriddha Ashrayam means take shelter of elderly people. So Prabhupada in that purport says 2 kinds of elders. Jnana Vriddha, Vayo Vriddha. Jnana Vriddha is someone who is elder by knowledge, by their realizations. They may be younger by age, but they may be elder by knowledge. Same way, Vayovriddha means, Maharaj said, even 1 year he is elder to you, he is elder. You have to give respect to him. 1 day, not 1 year, 1 day. If he is elder to you also, he is elder. So these are all the etiquettes which Maharaj said you Kali Yuga people have forgotten. When I was appearing as Kali Yuga product for my grandfather, how will you people be appearing to him? He was asking. What will he do? If he comes and sees you living entities, he will say, suppose he comes again to see you living entities, he will go take a big stone, tie it around his neck and jump into the ocean so that even his dead body doesn't come up again.
We have become advanced Kali Yuga people, Prabhu.
Yeah, advanced means going even closer to the destruction. Yes. Faster.
Yes, Prabhu.
I don't know, somewhere it
Prabhu, this is what Jnana Vriddha example is Kalacakra Prabhu, and Vayo Vriddha is like me.
So you mean to say we have to respect you as a Vayo Vriddha?
No, Prabhu, no.
So either way we have to respect.
If Prabhu, Maharaj's grandfather, if see us now in this situation, advanced, even look at Maharaj, and also Prabhu, Maharaj's grandfather is scolding, looking at us, as you said, he will put a big rope into our neck and throw into water, definitely.
Our neck and throw us into water. That's a good idea. So nice, Prabhus. Thank you. Nice discussion we had today. I think we should stop it anyway, by the way, for time's sake. So Krishna willing will continue. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Next meeting. Hare Krishna. Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitya Gaur Pramanande. Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa